Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be unboxing the Switch 2. Let's get to it. So this version is the Mario Kart bundle. It's the one that comes with the download version of Mario Kart. The download copy of Mario Kart. There is a cheaper version that's available without the game. Let's just open this up. So after you've taken the sleeve off, you get the box. Open it up from here. And there you go. So there you've got the Switch 2 itself and the two Joy-Cons. So here are the Joy-Cons. They look quite nice, actually. I like that they've gone for this sort of unibody color, and then they just got the red and blue accent colors. And you know, Orzly, we like colors, so we've got the cases to match those accents. I'll put a link in the description for the full case video, so you can check that out. Put that to the side. Here's the Switch 2. Again, it's got the same accent colors, so you know which way to put the Joy-Cons on. But I think they fit either way. Like, you can fit the right one on the left side and the left side on the right one. We'll check that out in a bit. Underneath, what have we got? So here, got some paperwork. It's got the Mario Kart code on it. I won't show that now. It's just some paperwork. HDMI cable. And then you get these. So these are the wrist straps that you can attach to the Joy-Cons. Oh yeah, they fit on like that. And then you can then use the Joy-Con in mouse mode. Yeah, these are pretty cool. Got the red one there and the blue one. Got the charging brick and cable. I like that this time around they've made them separate. So if, let's say, your cable breaks, you don't need to go and get a whole new charger. You can just, or if your charger breaks, you don't need to get a whole new cable. You can just replace the bit that needs replacing, which is quite nice. And it's a lot smaller this time. It's a lot smaller than the original Switch 1 version. So it's nice that they made this more compact. And this is the grip. So yeah, with this grip, you can just slot in your Joy-Cons. So it feels more like a bit more like a traditional controller, which is nice. This one can't charge your Joy-Cons. I know that Nintendo have made a specific one that's got a USB-C port that you can charge your Joy-Cons whilst you're using them. This one isn't that one. It's just the sort of plastic grip. And last but not least, we've got the dock. So yeah, so this is the new dock. It's got a new design compared to the old one. This one can output 4K to TV, which is nice. Definitely missed that on the original Switch and Switch OLED. And also they've added fans to it, so it'll keep your Switch cooler. So yeah, that's good. Let's open up the actual Switch. So yeah, here's the Switch. It looks really nice, actually. I like it quite a bit. It doesn't feel that much heavier than the original. I've got one nearby. We'll compare it in a bit. But yeah, I like the way it looks. I like that it's all one solid color. If I just grab the Joy-Cons. Yeah, so with the Joy-Cons, this is how you release. This is the new release button. Basically just pushes the Joy-Con out away from the magnets. So when you dock it, it's just the red one. Just yeah, there's a Switch 2. Back, it's got kickstand, similar to the one that comes on the OLED. And yeah, this one gives you a lot more versatility than the one from the Switch 1 that only had like one angle. So with this one, if you want, you can go all the way down to there, or have it near vertical like that, which is handy. Yeah, so in terms of actual features, this one's now got, so you see at the bottom, we've got the USB-C charging port there, and you've got another one at the top right there. That one's for, you can use it to charge when it's in tabletop mode. So again, that was another issue that the Switch and Switch OLED had, where if you wanted to charge it in tabletop mode, you'd either need a play stand or just something to hold it higher so you could access that bottom USB-C port. So now with this one at the top, you can charge it whilst it's in tabletop mode, and you can also plug in the camera that Nintendo released. So you can have game chat with your face in it basically, which is cool. Yeah, you got a fan, you got the exhaust ports along the top, headphones, headphone jack, volume rocker, power switch, and game card slot. Now, game cards for the Switch and the Switch 2 are basically the same size. The only difference is Switch 2 cards are red, but yeah, the game cards are near identical. Yeah, so if we just put it in the dock, yeah, so there it is. A lot more wiggle than a lot more wiggle room than there was with the original Switch. Let me just grab it now. So for comparison, here's the Switch. So this is a Switch OLED and this is the Switch 1 dock. But yeah, here's the Switch and the Switch 2, just so you can do comparisons side by side. You can see here that there's, yeah, so they've gone from that 7-inch screen that we had on the Switch OLED to this new 7.9-inch screen. In terms of the actual Joy-Cons, like you see the mechanisms change. It's no longer the sliding rails that you had with the Switch OLED. It's now the magnets, which I think is a definite upgrade. It feels a lot easier and a lot smoother to just clip the Joy-Cons on like that and then take it off like that. Definite improvement. So if you take a look at the right Joy-Con, you can see that they've added an extra button, this C one. This is the one that when you press it, lets you access all the social features that they've added to the Switch, like the game chat and the like multiplayer and stuff like that. So if you take a close look at the screen, you'll notice that they've added a screen protector to it already. This is a PET screen protector. I think that, yeah, they did the same thing with the OLED when they switched to a glass screen versus the plastic screens that were on the Switch and Switch Lite. So yeah, when you get your Switch 2 and you see that screen protector, leave it on there. You don't have to take it off. If you're going to put a tempered glass one, like the one we do at Orzly, shameless plug, you can put that one on right on top. You don't have to take the PET one off. You can just put it so you've got double protection basically. So if you wanted to do a side-by-side comparison, so here we've got the Switch 2, the Switch OLED, and the Switch Lite. And you can really tell the size difference between the three. But in terms of comparative size, I'd probably say it's closer to like a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally. So yeah, here we've got the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. Like if you were to hold in these similar size, similar profile, both 8-inch screens, but weight-wise, the Switch 2 is a lot lighter. It's a lot more, it feels a lot more portable. Like this would be the one that I'd prefer to carry around with me on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so let's power it on and get it set up. So I'll just skip through all the setup and the login and stuff, and I'll come back to you whenever. And Nintendo did mention it. There'll be a day one update that needs to be done. So just go ahead and do that. Hopefully, if you're buying a Switch later on, this update will come pre-installed, so you don't have to go through all that. But yeah, if you're getting it day one, there will be an update that you need to do. The handy thing is you can keep setting it up whilst it's doing the update in the background, which is handy. So you kind of don't have to just leave the Switch on the side and go do something else. Here is just running through a few of the different ways you can use it, like explaining the stand and how you can connect the AC adapter to the top to charge it when you're in tabletop mode. And then, like I said, just using that Joy-Con release to remove the Joy-Cons. So then it's going to run you through the setup of how you can connect it to a TV. If you want a full tutorial on how to set it up, just let me know down in the comments below and I'll do a video for that. So if you already got one of the previous generation Switches, you can do a data transfer to move all your games and save files from your old Switch onto this one. Bear in mind, this can only be done when you're setting up the console. You can't go through the setup and then decide at a later date that you want to do the data transfer. And I believe if you do the data transfer, it wipes your previous Switch. So think carefully before you go through it. If you still want access to your old Switch with your save files on it, might not be the best to do the data transfer. I personally won't be doing the data transfer because I still want access to my save files on my old Switch. I still want to be able to use those if and when. So I'll just be setting up the system like it's a brand new system. So we'll just click next. Here you can, if you have a Nintendo account, you can go ahead and sign in. So whilst it's doing the update, I'll just run you through something that I forgot to mention earlier. So underneath the kickstand, that's where you'll find your micro SD card slot, similar to where it was on the OLED. One thing that's changed about the micro SD cards though is the Switch 2 only uses micro SD express cards. You can't just use the standard micro SD card. So when you're getting your SD cards, make sure it's got that express on the card just to make sure you got the right compatible one. If you want to set parental controls, you can go ahead and do that. And I'm sure you can do that in the settings later on. Yeah, with the setup complete, all you have to do now is press the home button. So yeah, this is the home screen. Quite similar to how it was on the Switch OLED. In fact, let me just grab it and we can compare. Yeah, so these are the two home screens. Very similar layout. Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do, which is the first thing that I do on every device that I get, is switch to dark mode. I think it just instantly looks a lot better, doesn't it? If you've got any physical games that you want to play now, you can just put the card in and you're good to go. Or if you want to play something from the previous generation, you can go to the virtual cards. You pick your account, and there you'll have all the games that you own digitally, and you can just load them onto the console. And it'll start downloading it there and there. So it's ready for you to play whenever. So this Switch 2 is all set up and is good. So this Switch 2 is all set up and is ready to go. But this Switch 2 belongs to one of you guys. That's right. We're giving away this Switch 2 to one lucky subscriber. Yeah, so all you have to do to qualify is subscribe to the YouTube channel and leave a comment under any of our Switch 2 videos, including this one, letting us know where you're watching from and what you're most excited about. The winner will be announced after we hit 20,000 subs. I'll put a link below to a page where you can read all the full competition rules. But I'm excited for everyone to enter, and yeah, looking forward to seeing your comments. So that's the Switch 2. This is just a quick video to show the unboxing and everything that comes with it. If you want a full video on like how to set up TV mode and how the different modes work, just let me know down in the comments below. If you have any other questions on anything you want to know about the device, just let me know. I'll be hanging around in the comments. I'll answer those as quickly as I can. Don't forget to check out the carry case and screen protector videos. I'll link those down below. And we've got a ton more accessories planned. So now is a great time to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on those videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.